Hey guys, what's up? Surma11 here. I'm going to be reviewing Hunter x Hunter episode 92. I watched this last night, don't really remember all the details, so I'm just going to try to go through it and we'll see what happens. This footage might never be uploaded, who knows. In this episode, I think we started off at like the Hunter building or whatever, and we had Netero having his heart t-shirt on, which means he's serious, and then he had Colt there, and he was asking Colt if he would be able to touch the king or if he was stronger, and Colt said he won't be able to touch him because of the Royal Guard. And if you remember, in a few episodes ago, or when Neferpitou was introduced, when Netero saw Neferpitou, he was like, "There's no way I can beat that thing." And what is he at, like half of his strength right now? So I think he said he's going to get like an old friend or old friends, and I'm thinking that's Killua's grandfather and father, or maybe they could be some random characters we've never seen. Because Hunter x Hunter is kind of good for that, just throwing characters into an arc just to get them killed and whatever, or just creating, or just having characters, and they do something in this arc, but they don't do anything else. Like Kurapika, I would consider him and Leorio main characters, except for the fact that they're not present in most of the arcs. I mean, Kurapika was in the what was it, the Phantom Troop arc, but he's not really in this arc. And I don't even know if Kurapika would be that powerful, because he's overpowered towards the Phantom Troop, but he's not overpowered towards people like the ants. And I was also wondering if Kurapika went against what's his name? I'm sorry, I'm thinking Hisoka. If Kurapika went against Hisoka, would he die if he used the chain? I'm just thinking about that because I'm not really sure, because Hisoka's not a Phantom Troop member. But what if Kurapika still thought he was one? But anyways, the episode. Uh, so I think this is half of the episode. They spent trying to get the queen to stay alive. Colt was trying to offer up his body. Netero, he brought all these doctors in to work on the queen, but she died. And I don't really know if she's supposed to die. I think it's because the king kind of ripped himself out of her birth sack. I don't. It sounds so gross, but that's kind of what he did. He ripped through her birth sack. And remember the scene from last episode? Like, they started playing music and you just see her just in agony. It was gross. Oh man, that looks so gross. And so Queen dies. Beep, and there's something moving. And I was wondering, maybe is she still alive? But then the heart or whatever, that's the heart monitor, I believe. It was beeping. So wait, no. It wasn't beeping. It just kind of stopped. Yeah, so it stopped, and then something's moving in her organs, and then the octopus, chimera ants. This is a terrible review of the chimera ant. He was gonna do it, and then Colt, no, and then he puts his hand in there as a baby. And now this is the main thing I really wanted to talk about. I know this might not be a big deal, but it's a big deal to me. I was kind of wondering, do the chimera ants start off as humans? Like when they're born, do they look like babies? Because I was thinking, oh my god, she gave birth to a human. That's what I was thinking. I was like, that's not good. So I'm not really sure if this character is going to be a big deal, considering it's a baby and it's really tiny, so it's premature. So I don't know. But if it is a chimera ant, it's going to grow up fast, and it'll probably be maybe a villain, or no, it might help out Colt. I don't know. I find it kind of weird how Morel and Nove are there with Knuckle and Shoot. They're there with the chimera ants. Cause I'm thinking that, like, don't you have to kill these guys? Because something just doesn't seem right there. You have the queen who requested these ants to go out and kill and capture humans so she could eat them, and then these humans were kind of compiled into one person, and they created a chimera ant. Seems just kind of wrong there. But we do learn, like, the chimera ants have memories from their previous lives. But then again, I need to go back to the whole baby thing. And then you have Morel stepping in there. And I'm like, why are you stepping in? This is none of your business. Like Colt's like, I'm gonna take care of the baby, and then Morel's like, you better promise me that you two don't go out and eat humans. And I'm just like, what about all the people in the NGL that died? Like, does no one care about them? They're acting like they're gonna let some of the ants live after this arc, and I don't even think they can kill the king. Like, if they kill the king, it's gonna have to be like some suicide attack. I don't know. I just feel like he's not gonna. I don't feel like Netero or anyone's gonna kill the king. I feel like the king's gonna stay. And then you see him in the opening. You see like this light coming from his hand, but I think that's from his name. His name the queen gave him in this episode, or something about light. And I feel like he's gonna go to the moon or something, or maybe go into space. I know it's a weird theory, but you know, when you have a really powerful character, sometimes they disappear, like the Kishin in Soul Eater. Yeah. What else? You have Gon and Killua going back, and I feel like we're gonna go into territory where it's gonna be really boring. I'm not gonna say filler because this anime hasn't had filler. I don't think so, but I feel like we're gonna go into a territory with boring stuff because it didn't feel like they're gonna start some super hard training, and I know they shouldn't because I mean they just did a training arc. I would rather, you know, we just make Nove, Morel, Netero, Knuckle, and Shoot, make them the main characters for a little bit, and you just leave Gon and Killua alone and have them come back after 30 days, because I'd rather not see them train again. Just saying. Because that whole training thing took away from the Chimera Ant stuff. I cannot say Chimera. It took away from the Chimera Ant stuff, and we didn't get a solution out of it. They lost a fight with Knuckle and Shoot. So, I'm kind of going in whatever order, but Knuckle and Shoot run into Kite. His eyes like bloodshot. I think Kite's dead. Like I legitimately think Kite's dead. It looks like it looks like she brought him back to life. But then again, you have, I think his name's Shia LaPouf, who I think he controls people with his violin strings. And I think Kite's kind of a puppet now. And he's not really exactly alive. So I don't know. And then you have the whole scene. I forgot. We're going Killua in the car. They're going back. The girl has a dream, and she wants to show them that dream after this arc. And this arc apparently is going to next year. I think that's what King of Lightning predicted. And it makes total sense because you have all these squadron leaders. I cannot talk leaners. What? You have all these squadron leaders leaving and going out and making their own kingdoms, and you also have the king who just arrived at a kingdom. So they're leaving the NGL and they're going out and killing people because you already have Cheetu who's out of there. Cheetu's like a cheetah, so he's gone. And yeah, they're just going to different places in the world. It's kind of like they're gonna run into the Chimera Ants, or they're gonna have to hunt them down. That's the main problem. They're everywhere. They're spreaded, and they're gonna get followers or whatever. I don't know. I'm just wondering if that baby's human. I'm still on the whole baby thing. And like all the Chimera Ants are different organisms. There's something about that there where they couldn't share organs with the queen. So yeah. I would say it was okay episode. First half, the queen stuff was kind of boring, but it was interesting to see the baby. I didn't really care that much about the king's name, but you know, he has a name now. I really like the king. He's a terrible character in like the sense of his attitude, but who knows, with his fighting ability he's pretty dangerous too. I think I'm finally gonna say this. Like at first I respected Hunter x Hunter for this. You know, it didn't have as many fights as other shonens, but it has a great story. But I'm kind of getting tired of this. I need more action. I'm definitely getting tired of this. Like just straight story. I really want to see some fights. Like I don't want to see like Gon versus the king at the end of the arc. No, I want to see Gon fight the king right now. I want to see Nove and Morel fight some really strong ants. I don't know. Oh, by the way, some ants stayed around at the nest. Some of them didn't really want to leave, but that's not really a big deal. Kind of just going in random order of what I remember. But I think this is okay review, okay episode, whatever. Storm 11, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that's in the description. Everything else is in the description, such as previous videos. Also, go check out my Pokemon news video. And I'll probably be doing a review of our Attack on Titan because school starts soon and I don't really have anything to do. Bye.